Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Ben with KCT, aka the Gingerbread Man. So today we're going to be taking a look at the AIM Surplus NIB bolt carrier group. So this will be the first time we've had a chance to take a look at this. It's fresh in the package. We just opened it up. So we'll go ahead and pop that out and take a look and see what we got. So, some stats on this thing. It is an 8620 carrier. It has a 9310 bolt, tool steel extractor. The bolt is shot peened. Do not believe it is MPI or HP tested. The whole bolt is and carrier group is done in NIB or nickel boron, or sorry, nitride. Nitride, guys. And it's got a pretty good coating on it. I mean, as you can see, the coating's pretty even. Now, it is a single cut bolt carrier group. I prefer a tri-cut just for the aesthetics, but that's just me. We can see that there are the forward assist grooves on the right hand side. Pretty standard there. So let's go ahead and take it apart and see what we think about it. Okay, first things first, when we go ahead and take this thing down, we'll go ahead and remove the firing pin retaining pin. So let's put that out there. That's in there pretty good, which is what we like to see. There's the firing pin. So I got a cold here, guys. Looks pretty good. Take out that cam pin. Very standard looking cam pin. It is covered in the sweet, sweet nitride bath. And then pull out the bolt here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Take that down. That pin pops out pretty easily, a little bit more easily than I'd like, honestly. But we do see that we have the correct black extractor insert. And we also have the crane O-ring. They do say that it is a crane O-ring. And then this is a tool steel extractor. The gas key is 4140. And if I didn't mention before, the carrier itself is 8620 tool steel, and it is an M16 profile group, so there's that for those who care. So let's see the inside there. Pretty clean looking. Take a look at the staking. Staking is also done pretty decently. It's not the best staking job I've ever seen, but it's also not the worst. So there we have that for the bolt. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So the gas rings, pretty solid looking. We'll do the gas ring test here in a minute. The nitride is very, very nicely done. It's evenly applied. It's got that nice satin shine on there. Front of the bolt face is machined as normal. Pretty standard there. Nowhere I don't think they test fired these things, which I don't blame them for the price. And that is going to be the most interesting thing about this bolt carrier group, is that the price is 55 bucks on sale right now. So that's why I picked one up. The bolt is a little slippery. There's a little bit of oil applied to the tail, feels like. So there's that, but there's no other like lubricants or anything to be found, and it's not thick enough to like leave a residue. So all told, pretty standard bolt. I would like to see it be high pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected, but for less than $60 for a bolt carrier group, I don't think you're ever going to get that. There is, let's see if I can show you guys, there is a weird little divot right here. I've not seen that on any other bolts. I don't know what that is or why that's there. There's also these weird little holes here under the extractor, or not holes, they're indentations. So you can see those right there, right there. So what we'll do here is we will go ahead and grab a bolt out of another gun and see what that looks like compared to this one, and see if those are normal. That is an everyday bolt. I've not seen that, but you know, there's a lot of times I'm not necessarily looking at the bolt. So let's go ahead and get that on the table too. Okay, so here is another bolt. This one's MPI tested. Doesn't show HP tested, but whatever. I'm trying to remember who makes this. I want to say it's, God, maybe Midwest Industries. I'm not sure. I've had this for a long time. So here is the AIM Surplus extractor. Oops, sorry. This is the AIM Surplus extractor. That's the dirty one. So you can see there's those two little divots there. They're not very deep, but I think that might mean it's metal injected molded. They are not present on the other extractor. So you can see there's significant wear on the coating in the other extractor, but there's no divot. And then here is the AIM bolt. So the AIM Surplus bolt, you can see, has that little divot right there. Obviously it's got a little bit of a mark there. That's from the spring and the O-ring pressing up against it. That's not actually a permanent mark. You can see the same thing on this one here, so don't worry about that. But there is nothing here. There's no divot or anything else like that. So I'm not quite sure why that's there, unless these are like MIM'd parts. I have a buddy who's an engineer. I'll have to go ask him, see what he says. But that is slightly different. So just something to be aware of if you go ahead and buy the AIM Surplus bolt. So I do have a bunch of other bolts I have that I can replace this with. So I might just end up doing that straight off the bat, just and not fuck with it. So all right, so that is pretty much that. We'll go ahead and reassemble it, do the gas ring test, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, we're all back together now. So for those of you who are wondering too, if you didn't, if you caught it earlier, I like the tri-cut bolt carrier group, which has the machining done in 3 passes here, versus the just single cut rounded bolt carrier group. It's just an aesthetic thing. I think somebody can probably make an argument that one of them cuts sand better or whatever. I don't care. But I just like the way that looks aesthetically a little bit more. So here is the test to see how the gas strings look out of the factory. So we're going to see if this thing will collapse under its own weight onto the bolt, and it does not. You see pushing there, it's pretty hard. Also do the hanging test. See if it'll come off on its own. It's not. The other one though is starting to wear out. You can see that. So gas strings will need to be replaced on the good old bolt there. So guys, what's the final verdict? Well, I like it. The machining is good. The cam pin track's well cut. Cam pin is just a military style. Cam pins is very, very mil spec. Just everything's pretty much just as you'd expect on there. There's no real issues moving stuff back and forth. The ramping is good on the bottom. No issues there. There's a proper cut on the back of it there, the retaining pin. Yeah, so I would say this is a great buy. It is $55, and that is a pretty big steal. Now, I would say that what looks like the MIM'd parts, and again, I don't know, I'm not an engineer. I have an engineer buddy and a buddy who is a machinist. And they could probably tell me more if that is a MIM'd part with those little dimples in there. I imagine that's where it was cut off a fixture, but again, I'm not sure. If I find out, I will go ahead and note that in the comments below. I'm probably going to replace the bolt just offhand with something else that doesn't have that. on the bolt and then the extractor, just because I have extra bolts. If I didn't have spare bolts, I wouldn't really worry about it. It's just one of those things that, because I can, I will. That's interesting. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of weird too. It looks like, for whatever reason, I'll double check here. Yes, that is true. So I'll get you a better shot of this, but this bolt sticks out further than the other one. So you can see there. So we'll see on that. I don't imagine it's going to do anything, because once it locks up, it'll be fine. But it is a bit longer. Yep, even pushed in, it's longer. So something to think about. So we'll have to run this and see what it does. Offhand, I mean, it looks good out of the box. So we'll have to see if it runs as well as I think it will. Again, it is a little bit concerning that the bolts stick out further. I don't think the bolts are longer, because it would be the cam pin track that is cut deeper. So we'll go ahead and give that a try. Hopefully there's not a big issue with that. But yeah, so guys, right now I'd say it's currently a recommend with an asterisk. If the bolt turns out to be too long and the cam and the cam pin tracks mismachined, we'll definitely have to revisit that. But other than that, I'd say right now it's a tentative go. For 55 bucks, you can definitely try it out. I'm sure Aim Surplus has got good customer service and would take this back in a hurry if it was not working. So that's really all I got for you guys there today. I just want to compare the staking real quick too. Just to look at that. On this bolt carrier group, it's a little bit better than the Aim. They're both pretty decent, but this one's better. And again, I'm thinking this is like a, oh God, Midwest Industries bolt or something like that. So that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great rest of your day. Be awesome to each other, and see ya.